in the world, one that thrived on the margins and beneath the surfaces of conventional thinking, an alternative to the dominant ethos of human centrality and mastery. One might call it Deep America in deference to its marginality and invisibility, its absence from most of the official conceptions of what America was and is all about. But there have been times, as we will see, when strong vitalist currents have run close to the surface of everyday life, and nearly always they have possessed a subtle, unacknowledged potency for good and ill. My own view is that animal spirits, and the currents of vitality they embody, constitute a crucial part of what it means to be human, as well as an essential reminder of the animality humans share with the non-human world. Yet I am also aware of how often the celebration of unalloyed vitality has sponsored violence in vigilante or state-sanctioned forms. This sponsorship has continued to our own time, when the siren song of regenerative war has repeatedly served to justify inflicting destruction on innocent populations. The most profound vitalist thinkers have resisted this temptation and recognized the risks of exalting raw force. That is why Keynes and William James play such an important role in this narrative. They epitomize the most humane and capacious understanding of animal spirits, an understanding that led James to imagine a moral equivalent of war and Keynes to conceive capital investment as an instrument of the common good. Theirs is the version of vitalism that we need to resurrect at this fraught historical moment. The story of animal spirits and popular vitalism has important implications for contemporary public life. At first, the story may seem restricted by its white masculine focus. In the early part of this narrative down to the end of the 18th century, the people who struggled to articulate the idea of animal spirits are nearly always white men, and their vitalist discourse is often shaped by their white maleness. But after 1800, white women begin appearing more often, empowered by evangelical Christianity, New World mobility, and various forms of feminism. They make their own contributions to defining animal spirits, and their definitions reflect their own ambitions and longings. People of color, too, eventually appear as subjects in their own right, after long service as objects of white vitalist fantasy. Animal spirits, over the course of my narrative, cross racial and gender boundaries. The connotations of animal spirits change over time, but the phrase nearly always embodies an effort to capture the relationship between the material or organic world and an invisible realm of spirit. Though one can find that melding of matter and spirit in a vast variety of settings ranging from Papua New Guinea to the Bight of Benin, the best place to begin tracking it, for my purposes, is among the indigenous peoples of North America. They were the people whose worldview, strange but also in some obscure ways familiar, confronted Europeans when they began encountering the New World. Animistic thinking shaped Native Americans' encounters with animals, whom they endowed with spirits. The Cree of northern Canada, for example, imagined a delicate dance of hunter and hunted that required close attention to the animal's spirit as well as its flesh. According to the Cree, animals deliberately presented themselves to the hunter to be killed. When the meat was consumed, the soul of the animal was released to be reunited with flesh in another body that could be hunted again. But animals would not return to a hunter who had mistreated them. By causing undue pain and killing them, by failing to observe proper procedures in butchering and eating them or disposing of their bones, by killing unnecessarily for sport instead of need, and by refusing to share the meat or wasting it. For the Cree, as for other Native Americans, hunting was not the human pursuit of wild animals, alien beings from another world. It was a ritual connecting participants in the same world. A successful hunt was proof of amicable relations between humans and animals, based on mutual trust and linked to a cosmic economy of shared resources. Hunting was not only a search for food, but a ritual of reciprocity. And at the core of Native American cosmology, as the ecologist Paul Shepard wrote, was a pantheon of animal spirits, beginning perhaps with the great aurochs represented on cave walls but ultimately encompassing all creatures. Still, some creatures were more powerful than others, and none more than the wolf. The Cheyenne, Lakota, and Blackfoot all credited the wolf with teaching them how to hunt. One or two Cheyenne hunters, for example, would mimic a wolf's behavior and don a wolf skin in order to approach a buffalo on the Great Plains. Not seeing a large pack of hunters, the buffalo would not be alarmed. Once in close, the hunters would loose their arrows, ensuring a kill. The Koyukon of central Alaska held the belief that they too were taught to hunt by wolves. The name of the Tonkawa